Disappearing Moon Café by Sky Lee. This is a Bespeak Audio Editions book, narrated by Lynn. Prologue. Search for Bones. Wang Gui Zhang, 1892. He remembered that by then he was worn out from fighting the wind. He had to stop and rest in a shaded spot, so he found a smooth, flat stone to sit on, beside a stream that meandered off around a sharp bend. He was bone-tired from all this walking, watching the land dry out and the trees thin out. He wasn't thirsty. He was hungry, the last of his provisions gone days ago. So very hungry, so very tired of quenching his thirst on cold mountain water, sweet as it was. He wanted to complain out loud. Why send men out to starve to death? But the wind snatched the words out of his mouth, and even he couldn't tell if he had spoken them or not. He looked up at the unsettled sky and realized that if a freak storm should happen, he would be finished. He slapped his knee and shook his head. Ill-equipped, ill-informed. It was doomed from the start. Ha! He thought. A bones-searching expedition. We'll find bones all right, gleaming white, powdery in the hot sun, except they'll be our own. His feet ached relentlessly, throbbing cold from wading through ditches and icy creeks. Already holes in the thinned soles of his borrowed boots. I suppose I should be damned grateful I am still alive to feel the ache, he cursed out loud. Then there was the loneliness. He didn't want to think about the loneliness. It was the most dangerous struggle. He didn't know why he'd been chosen. Perhaps because he was young and big and had muscular shoulders. Maybe because his hair was thick and smooth, and not just black, but blue-black. He had 2 whorls on the crown of his head, the sign of a nonconformist. He also had very big hands. Most likely the old man had liked his face and its look of kind innocence. They said, "This youth has a tender face, but he has the look of an old soul." An old soul? He asked when they leaned close, looking for promises. Yes, they replied. You have been reincarnated many times. You have lived many lives fruitfully and have a deeper understanding of many things. They told him that he must believe. Believe what? He demanded. In your mission. My mission is to search out the bones of those who have died on the Iron Road so they can be sent back home. By you, the benevolent associations. No. The old eyes commanded brilliantly. It is more than that. To believe is to make it live. You must make your mission live, or else you will not succeed. Thus, they sent him into a trance. Around him, the mountain barricaded with trees reaching into the eternal mist, and the rain pressed down from the heavens. He felt totally hemmed in. His eyes untrained to see beyond the wall of wilderness, his heart unsuited to this deep, penetrating solitude. Hunger had already made him hallucinate, afraid of the rustling leaves and whistling animals. So he thought she had to be a spirit when he met her. In this dreamlike state, he thought maybe he had died, and she was another spirit here to guide him over to the other side. Look! A Chinaman. She crept up behind him and spoke in his language. He whirled around and his knees buckled under, the last of his strength not enough to contain his furious trembling. Meanwhile, she darted back into the safety of the underbrush and hid. He couldn't see her, but he could hear her laughing at him. The sounds gurgled like an infant's blown back and forth by the wind. The whole landscape winking and flashing at him. You mock me, yet you don't dare show yourself to me, he challenged, peering in.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?